Yo, what up? Welcome to Mo Boxing No Problem. I'm Jose Maris Jr., and I'm joined today by Ruben from Through the Ropes. What up, Ruben?
How's it going? Thank you for having me.
No problem. Welcome back. And we got a new face to the channel, making a lot of noise in the boxing community. We got Shane from Punchlines Podcast.
What's up, doggy?
Thank you for joining us, Shane. Look forward to more of these collabs in 2023.
Hell yeah, me too, bro.
Absolutely. So we had a hell of a fight on Saturday in the UK. Artur Beterbiev versus Anthony Yarde. Just want to kind of get your thoughts and opinions, what you thought about the fight. We'll start you, Ruben.
I thought it was a good fight, entertaining fight. I had Yarde came in, he did some nice work, but ultimately, I like the way Beterbiev was putting the pressure on him. He was slowly breaking him down, cutting the ring off. I liked how they were exchanging punches, but the power was ultimately the difference in the fight to me. And also one thing, there was a point in the fight where Anthony Yarde, like I said, I gave him a couple rounds, and he was actually pushing Artur Beterbiev back, and he had him on his back foot a little bit. So overall, I thought it was an entertaining fight, and that's it. I thought Beterbiev would knock him out eventually, and that's what ended up happening.
Yeah, that's what happened. What about you, Shane? And what are your thoughts on the fight?
Yeah, it was a fun fight, bro. I'm not gonna lie, Yard did better than I thought he would. I didn't think he couldn't be competitive. But like Rube said, I gave him a couple rounds myself. I was listening the stream I had. It had British announcers, and they were making it seem like he was like they even said at one point it was some of the best rounds of like Yard's whole career. And I didn't think it was like that good. Like I don't think, but it was a very fun fight. But yeah, like I thought Beterbiev was gonna knock him out also. But Yard did do a lot better than I thought he would. I'll give him credit, and he did. He was timing him well, but after like you can, I don't. It's hard for a guy with his skill set to keep that up for 12 rounds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with Yard, who's shown stamina problems in the past. Like I thought that Beterbiev was going to KO Yard within 6 rounds because of his stamina issue, and based on his performance against Kovalev. Because we saw how in that fight Yard started fading and then got knocked out by the jab because he was just so tired in that fight. So he definitely at least proved me wrong and was, in the fight. He got a couple rounds and he made it past 6. So made a much better fight.
So muscular, bro. It's got to be a part of it. It's hard for them to keep up cardio like that when they're that muscular. You get a lot.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. I thought the muscle mass is a big part of why he, ultimately ends up fading towards the end. It looks nice, but we all know boxing. Like muscles don't really mean anything in the boxing ring.
Nah, yeah, he's a big motherfucker too, bro. Like he's big.
Yeah, and then Shane, you mentioned kind of the UK broadcasting, and we saw the scorecards. 2 of the 3 UK judges had Yard up before the stoppage. Do you think that had to do with kind of the home field advantage?
Yeah,
explain a little bit.
Yeah, because if you go back, like Beterbiev, whatever you want to call him, he'd land like a combo, 2-3 combos in a row, and if Yard would just like throw a jab, didn't even land with it. If Beterbiev took a step back, like the whole crowd would go crazy and everything. And it was weird because normally like you can get like the crowd and the announcers, they can get you caught up and tell you a different story from what you're seeing. But this was one of the few times where you could see clear as day. It's like, yeah, it's competitive, but it's clear like who's winning at the same time overall. But yeah, I definitely think that had a part to do with it. Those British judges, they're shady anyway a lot of the time.
Yeah, true point. All right, well, speaking of Yard, where does he go from here? I know he lost, but it feels like the consensus is he did better than most people thought, and his stock is up. So who would be a good opponent for him as next fight?
It's funny how that happens, right? In boxing, if you do good enough, your stock can go up. But I think, to look at some names, a Joe Smith, a Zurdo Ramirez would be, 2 good fights for him. Gene Pascal. I don't really have the top tier light heavyweights in front of me, but off the top of the head, those are 3 names that can make sense. they all have big names. It could be a big fight. So that's what I'd go with.
No, good name. So what about you, Shane? Who do you think would be some good candidates for his next fight?
Um, I wouldn't mind the third Arthur fight, like the Leiden Arthur like rubber match,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean Leiden Arthur's never really going to be bigger than what he is now, I don't think, and Yarde's even bigger, like you said, but it's going to be hard for him to get a non-domestic fight still, I think, at this point. So I think the third fight with Arthur would be good, and it would make good money now if he's as big as he is. But I don't know, bro. British fighters are weird when they lose. They take the comeback approach kind of more seriously than I guess everywhere else. So I wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
be surprised if he fought somebody else not really worth much, to be honest.
Yeah, I could see it too. I hope he goes the Ruben route because those names you mentioned are in the top 10 of the lightweight division. I think Yard right now with his performance, he's probably a top 5 fighter, but he would prove it if he beats a Joe Smith or beats a Sudo Ramirez
Yeah.
on there. But yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if he takes the UK route than the domestic rival. All right. Well, let's switch gears to the winner. Arthur Beterbiev. Who do you guys want to see him fight next? I'm pretty sure I kind of know the answer to that one, but
Evil.
go ahead.
Evil. I
Bivol?
mean, there's no other fight in the light heavyweight I'd rather see than Bevo. I know they said I think Callum Smith's a mandatory for one of the governing bodies, but I mean I think Beterbiev knocks him out too. The only fight that makes sense is the Bevo fight.
All right, you agree, Shane? Is Bivol a
Yeah.
bust?
Yeah. I was pissed. Because I thought Yarde was the fight that we had to wait for him to get through until we got the Bivol fight. But now then yeah, because I thought it's like, okay, well, we'll wait for him to get through Yard and then we'll get the Bivol fight. But now they're saying Callum Smith too. Like, come on, that's stupid. And Callum Smith could easily fight somebody else in the light heavyweight division and still keep that #1 spot and fight the winner.
Yeah, no, I mean, Callum Smith is the WBC mandatory, but Callum Smith versus Joe Smith or versus Anthony Yarde, I think would be a good fight to just keep him busy and just to not block the undisputed fight because all the boxing fans.
Watsy, give him a Joshua Watsy fight. That fight does huge in the UK.
That'd be huge too. All right, we got a comment here from Bruce, Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. Says salute,
What's
Bruce. That would be a great fight because that's the other issue too with these promoters is they're trying to put different boxers in front of them to block the good fights. And they're coming from El Dub Boxing says what's good. It's good El Dub. Because Eddie Hearn's trying to match Joshua Buatsi with Dimitri Bivol. That's the fight he wants to go for next, not the Beterbiev matchup.
Yeah, that's so it's pissing me off because Beterbiev he's not young, like he's talented and he hasn't shown his age, but it's like just give us these good fights when we got them, like when they're at their peak. I think right now it's at its peak.
Yeah, because I mean, for Beterbiev, I mean, what's really let's say he fights Bivol, and after that, what's really left for him to do after that? I mean, maybe wait if David Benavidez one day wants to go up and fight at light heavyweight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what makes sense to me more, the Bivol fight, and like how you guys are saying like promoters are trying to stop it. What about the Canelo and Bivol rematch? I know what's it called. Canelo's he's trying to drain him to go down to 168. I mean, if that were to happen, I guess go ahead and fight the Callum Smith fight, and I guess take care of business, and then just wait for that end of the side to see what happens.
And I agree with Eldub. Eddie blocking another undisputed fight. He's always kind of looking out for his own fighters, which I guess as a promoter, I guess that's what you got to do. But as us boxing fans,
get away with that shit was Canelo.
Yeah, I'm a huge Canelo fan, but I'm not interested in the Bivol rematch at any weight.
I'm not either because I thought that's like if Mikey Garcia wanted a rematch with Arrow, just not severe. It was clear because Bivol was the bigger guy, but he beat him with skill. Like everybody knows enough about that fight now. I'm not interested in that either.
No, absolutely not. So let's say the Beterbiev versus Bivol does end up happening. The promoters work together. How do you guys see that playing out? Who would you favor?
I'm taking Bivol.
Yeah.
skills. I mean, like we're saying that. I mean, Beterbiev is no young pup. He is 39 or is 39, right?
38. I think it's 38.
38. I mean,
Closer to 40 than 35 for sure.
yeah, and
For
that's
sure.
just that just doesn't like I like what he's doing, but I mean I think Bivol is definitely younger. He's shown great skills. I got to go with Bivol, but I wouldn't be surprised if Beterbiev pulls it off.
Yeah, it all depends on, because everybody says they get shocked by how hard the ball hits. Like it all depends on how he responds to it. He showed composure in 2 back-to-back fights that weren't supposed to be easy for him. And he surprised me in both of them. Like he upset somebody I didn't think he was going to upset, and then he beat somebody dominantly in Zurdo in what I thought was a 50-50 fight at the time. So I have no idea. I would favor Bivol, but I have no idea, because if he can take the power that no one else has been able to, and if Beterbiev can affect him with the pressure, I mean, who knows? But like Bivol's timing and counters and accuracy, speed, it's just insane. It's a great fight. The fact that I don't know who to pick is why we all want to see it.
Yeah, that's a pick 'em fight for sure, and I think most people would probably lean Bivol just based on because Yarde did much better than we anticipated. But I think our Beterbiev has shown he still has the power. It's the last thing to go, and L-Dub here he likes Beterbiev actually by decision. He thinks he'll hear the final bell for the first time.
But that he can, but that means he thinks he can win enough rounds against Bivol over a 12-round period to take the decision then, or drop him or something.
Yeah, get the knockdowns.
Speaking of Beterbiev, though, I mean, he's pretty good at he's really good at placing his punches too. I feel like he doesn't really waste his punches. He just he's really good at placing them.
Oh yeah, that was Bivol.
So yeah, just wanted to add on that. So I mean, like you said, Shane, it's one of these fights that you really don't know who to go with. I slightly favor what's it called, Bivol, but I'm not saying I'm betting the house on him. It's just a slight. It's just a slight favorite.
Yeah, I think I would go Bivol too, maybe 55-45 on the odds, but it's definitely a close fight.
Yeah, it ain't easy to pick.
Where do you think it happens? New York at the Garden?
That fight, man, a fight like that, they'd probably do somewhere in like Saudi Arabia or Dubai again. I feel like that fight.
Yeah, if it happens domestic, I think the New York Garden.
You think they would do it there over T-Mobile?
I think so. They probably have a bigger fan base on the East Coast.
That'd be cool if it happens at the T-Mobile. It's easier for me to go. So
Ruben will be there for sure.
Yeah. So, but no, I think it happens in the East Coast. I feel like they have a bigger fan base in the East Coast than out here.
Yeah. Although Bivol was getting mad love in Los Angeles when he was at the Marv Nation card, the Cepeda Pro Race.
Well, because he trains out there.
Yeah, he trains with
Joel Diaz. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're both pretty big overseas too. I feel like that fight would do better overseas financially.
Montreal, yeah, L-Dub says I think could fight in Montreal. See that too as well. I just want to see it. Point blank period. I just want to see it.
For sure.
All right. Well, any closing thoughts, guys, before we wrap up?
Nah, man. I just don't fuck this up, Eddie. That's it.
Don't fuck it up, Eddie. All right. Well, let's do our farewells. Where can people find you, Ruben?
You can find me on Through the Ropes, just like you see on the screen. Or actually, no, it's on the ropes part. It's a 3 now instead of an E because it's due to me getting hacked. So.
Oh yeah, I don't know which one's the real one.
I'll send you a DM.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Shane? Where people find you?
On Instagram, I'm punchlines_pod, and then on YouTube, I'm punchlines_pod @punchlines_pod.
There you have it. All right, Ruben, Shane, thank you so much for joining me and breaking down this fight, and thanks to everyone in the live chat coming in and tuning in. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Later. Have a good night.